Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements 2. This is patch 3.6.0, which I'm calling Know Your Role. And this is a big patch with a short patch note video. But before we get into it, I'm going to thank the patrons who are keeping the lights on around here, making sure that we're covered for all the incidental expenses that come from maintaining our websites and various software as a service services that come online with maintaining all this community tools. If you signed up recently and I don't shout your name out, don't worry, I'll get to you in the next video. So a huge shout out and thanks to Angelo, Bob, and Edward Bird. You guys rock. Thank you for helping out around here. All right, so let's get into the patch note details. This is going to be a relatively quick one. The patch went up in the second digit, so the from 3.5x to 3.60 because I messed with a lot of under the hood code. Those of you who have played through chapter 3 know that there are a lot of bugs we've got to work out, and a lot of that comes from a system that involves the soldier roles. That's the name of the patch. We have this system I call the class system. It handles soldier roles, captives, who the mayor is, all these different under the hood things for SS2. And it's kind of integrated in a whole lot of Sim Settlements code, both from chapter 1 through chapter 2 into HQ stuff, into chapter 3 for the soldier things. So all of these things are affected by it. So messing with this code has the potential to create a lot of weird issues, and hence I'm going to be doing this over time. So I've taken a crack at fixing a lot of things all at once, but I kept a redundant set of code. Now, I won't go into the technical details of why I had to change this. I'll just say that there was a system we were basing on in Fallout 4 that turns out to not be as reliable as I had thought. So I'm basically building a redundant system to try and fix that. So hopefully these fixes I've made, I won't have made them any worse, but there is a chance that some of these patch notes don't play out as nicely as I've said. So definitely keep posting on the forums or reach out to me during any of my live streams, and we'll continue to work out these issues. But primarily what I focused on for this patch, in addition to just random little bugs people have reported, are trying to get the core code that handles the soldier roles, which would impact things like, I'm sure many of you have experienced, where you go to fire off an assault, it tells you there aren't enough warriors available. So this will hopefully reduce the likelihood of that happening incorrectly. It could still happen if you don't actually have enough warriors, but now the actual check should be more reliable. Things like captive issues. I know some people have found that the prisoner options show up for their own soldiers occasionally. Sometimes when you liberate a settlement, the settlers will turn on you. And all of those things will be impacted by these code changes, hopefully in a positive way. Some of the things that I poked at were things like the reinforcements code to try and make that a little faster. I know sometimes you feel like the later into chapter 3, when you're deep in the soldier mechanics, you just get wave after wave of reinforcement, which is fine, except that sometimes it feels like they never show up, or it takes them ages to show up, which can get really boring. So I tinkered with a lot of that code. I fixed a lot of issues with the territory system. So territories had a problem where when the cell resets, the flag would disappear and it would make it basically impossible to interact with that territory going forward. So a whole lot of touching code that's involved in the chapter 3 mechanics. And hopefully it will result in a lot of experience for those of you who are engaging in Chapter 3 mechanics. Now, definitely post any bug reports you get to the simsettlements.com forums. I will definitely be keeping an eye on those, looking for opportunities to further enhance this, and future patches will continue to build on this new baseline change that I've built in to hopefully get us to a point where things are working as advertised. I've also made some little tweaks to some of the Chapter 3 quests to make them a little more streamlined. I think one of the biggest ones that people got hung up on was the one where you needed to rank up a soldier and assign a medic loadout to them. There were two problems we resolved with this particular patch. One is you no longer have to rank up the soldier. Any soldier can be given a medic loadout, because one of the problems is it's difficult to find a soldier of a certain rank. There's no real search, and you have to basically walk up to each person and inspect them with the managed soldier option, which is very clumsy. So we got rid of the rank requirement on that one. And then the second thing I did to try and ease this is make it so it's easier to send people to HQ from your soldiers. So a lot of times you might find your higher rank soldiers out near your territories, since you do a lot of territory captures in the beginning of the Chapter 3 quest line. So now you can actually use the clipboard and send soldiers to HQ while you're out in the field. Previously, the clipboard would only work while you're inside a settlement correctly. So now you'll be able to send those soldiers to HQ. So if you find a higher rank soldier and you want more military energy at HQ, it should be easy to find them, since a lot of them will be hanging out at your territories. All right, guys, that does it for the patch notes. Definitely go check out the full notes if you want all of the details. There are quite a lot of little things that I touched with this patch. And like I said, this will not be the end of digging into these Chapter 3 mechanics. I do want to continue to tinker and make things a little bit smoother. Now, for those of you guys who stuck around to the end, you know the drill. I am going to give you a hashtag, and if you would like a chance at some merch, some SS2 merch, just leave this hashtag alongside a comment. So don't just put the hashtag in. Give me something interesting to read. Give me a bug report right in the comments. Tell me something you love about Sim Settlements. Tell me a funny story about it. Something interesting to read so we can search through those comments and pick one of you guys out to pick up some merch. So your hashtag today is more warriors, please, because I'm sure you would love the game to just give you more warriors so that your assaults always succeed. All right, guys, take care and enjoy the mods.